Hello, I'm excited to be here today at TEDxWarwick. But yesterday I discovered y'all's health center because I found out that I had a cold and flu and 40-degree temperature. So I feel a little bit like garbage, or I guess here, rubbish. But the TEDx team has been incredible. They're helping me cut this talk in half, and we are going to start with a video. It's a documentary trailer that's now being made that's documenting how over the last 5 years, my Mabuti Pygmy family in eastern Congo has now found freedom from both waterborne disease and literal modern-day slavery. So here we go with that video. As slavery exists now, today, it's not just a thing of the past. I mean, that's what I thought, living in my American bubble. There's no slaves today. We got rid of that in the 1800s. Slavery in today's age? Why? Why should it exist?
Vile walikuwa natuita tuko basukomuntu.
Batu wa mugini biko nasema hata sasa biko nasema. Zamani kwanza balikuwa kusema
we mumbute we. Basi ile tunakwendaka kujifunza. Eski kabila ile ya mumbute iko Mungu njo aliumba aiko mutu njo aliumba.
Their slave masters come up to me and say, "What are you here doing with my animals? Or what are you here doing with my property? I own these people."
Wakati nye balikuwa natulipa roho kuwa na kwa bieta kusema mafikiri yetu si.
They just need to be given a few fish, a few bananas, something small, so that they can come back and work the next day, so that they're hungry enough that they have to come back and work the next day.
Jo ile njo ilianjikana tangio mbele mpaka sasa. Na njo leo Mumbuta anapata hewa kidogo ya kutoka ndani ya matukano ya mutu kila mutu tu.
We have to fight this. People are worth fighting for. My name is Justin Wren. At 13 years old, I want to be a UFC fighter. I started fighting professionally at 19 years old, was on a reality TV show called The Ultimate Fighter. When I was 21, I was the main event at the Hard Rock in Las Vegas when I was 23. And since then, I've come here to Congo. Fighting in a cage under a ton of lights and getting my hand raised. That was cool. It was cool, but it wasn't great. I was fighting against people, but really I was just supposed to be fighting for people. They're sweet, loving, amazing people. And why should these sweet, loving, amazing people be literally thought of and believed to be animals whenever they're these sweet, loving, amazing people? One of the main reasons for their slavery is because they don't have land. They don't own land for themselves. And so because of that, the land that they were always living on was stolen from them. They come in, they steal the land from them, and if they're gonna live there, they're gonna enslave the Pygmies there because they can use them for whatever they want. Whatever they want, whatever they need, and make sure that they are stuck in a cycle of slavery. It would be foolish of us to come to the slave masters and say, "Hey, we want to set your people free." So you have to go at it in a respectful way to both parties. You can't love one side and hate the other, because if you do that, it's only going to cause more problems for the people you're trying to love. We came in saying, "Hey, how can we partner with both of you?
What can we do to give solution for this?" So we sat down and we said, I think we have to make a team that can go to lobby those Bantu can give some part of the land back to Pygmy.
The land purchases were huge for, giving them some land of their own that they could be free on. But water was what really softened the hearts of their oppressors, softened the hearts of their masters.
Congo is one of the regions in Africa which has a lot of fresh water, but people are dying from waterborne disease. And most of the people dying of waterborne diseases are pygmies.
The big thing is that you're barely making it with the vitamins and nutrients that you have in your body, especially when you're being paid a minnow for a day's labor. But then to know that that minnow is going out of your system before your body can even absorb it, because filthy water is keeping you from being able to digest your food.
One of our partners is Water4, and it's an incredible organization that is a game changer and a lifesaver in this region. I've seen it with my own eyes. They gave me the tools when I had none, and they gave me the knowledge when I didn't know anything about how to get water.
And to get the full weight of this project, to know that not only was it kind of a bargaining tool with the non-Bantu, to say, we'll make this available to you, we'll make this opportunity for water available for you, if you will release these pygmies. It was mind-blowing in every way possible.
It's worth anything. It's worth everything to struggle, to grit, to fight. We have to fight. And to see freedom happening, whether that's freedom from literal slavery, which is happening now, or freedom from waterborne disease. If somebody just got to be here and experience what I'm getting to experience, yeah, it's crazy, yeah, it's hard, but it's amazing and it's awesome and I love them.
Maisha tu iko mzuri mambo.
Tulikuwa sasa batumwa hapo. Sasa tunakuwa bie. Sie tunaanza kulima, tunaanza kupanda, tunaanza.
Well, I just love them being able to have their own voice through this documentary. That was my first promise to them, because we didn't know we could do the land, water, or food initiatives, but to now see this documentary, being able to give them a voice of their own. It's just such a privilege and honor to see it actually happening. So, if you think you are too small to make a difference, try to sleep in a closed room with a mosquito. Now that's funny, and it's clever, but I remember the first time hearing that, and being a fighter, it just woke me up like I got hit by a stiff jab. And ever since then, it's helped guide me in the good times and in the bad. And like our TEDx theme here, ever since it's had me navigating in uncharted waters. But another great bonus is it's given me my pygmy family, who I just absolutely love and adore. But I want to show you a picture of what just represents modern day slavery to me. This is Nemboli. Nemboli stands only around 4'7". That on her back and tied around her head is a bag of jagged charcoal that probably weighs 100 to 120 pounds. It literally could be twice her weight. I'm a professional athlete and I couldn't even do that. And a lot of people don't know this statistic, that today, living on planet Earth, there's an estimated 27 million slaves. That's more than ever in human history. And the 27 million is actually on the lower side of the estimates. This picture is Andy Bo. Andy Bo was the first child that I actually had held and buried just because he had died of waterborne disease. It was completely preventable and absolutely treatable, yet he didn't have access to clean water or medicine to help him. And this picture is of Mama Mariamo. She's one of the sweetest, most amazing people on the earth. I'm just absolutely convinced of it. But she represents both statistics. She lived her life as a modern-day slave. That was until river blindness stole her vision. And then waterborne disease took the lives of 5 of her 7 children. And you know, these statistics, they can sound, I know that it can mean something here today, but I also know how easy it is for statistics to go in one ear or out the other. That is until something brings it to life. And to me, that's these pictures of my experiences of burying Andibo, or Kaptula, Sengule, or little Babo, or on the right, who's no longer with us, little Mo. Nobody really understands that there's 5,000 children each and every day that die of waterborne disease. I didn't say 5,000 every week or every month or every year. The statistic is 5,000 children die under the age of 5 every single day. That's equivalent to 100 school buses falling off a cliff every day. I think we all know here that if one school bus got in an accident, it's going to make local news, probably national news. But 5,000 children dying every day was something that I had no clue about. That was until it became very real the very first time with burying Andibo. So in response to this, my wife and I, we started a foundation called Fight for the Forgotten. And we joined forces now, and we partnered with Water 4. We became an official initiative for them. I included this picture because it's got an English bulldog. And together, what we wanted to focus on was land, water, and food initiatives. And so far, to date, we've gotten 2,470 acres of land back in the name of the Mbuti Pygmies. This is... Thank you. This is land that they will pass down from generation to generation. It's theirs. Also with water, we didn't just start drilling water for the Mbuti Pygmies, but simultaneously, their oppressors, the slave masters. So together, we wanted to keep peace and drill them simultaneously. So water wells in communities that had never had access to clean water before. Also with food, we hired on an agriculturalist to teach the hunter-gatherers how to hunt or farm for themselves, and also for the oppressors, the Makpala, the non-Pygmies, how to farm better farming practices. And also with the agriculture team, we've replanted 3,500 trees that are rare hardwoods targeted for deforestation. This is Chief Leo May, and last time I saw him, he was just so pumped to tell me that for the first time in their history, they're not just farming for themselves, but now they're going to the local markets and they're selling. And all this was made possible because we really decided that we had to work through the locals. It was dependent on them, their investment into the project. So we've hired on 18 locals. Half of them have degrees in community development, so they already had a heart to help the people in their own country. What I loved about this was that all we had to do was put the tools in their hands and the knowledge in their heads and send them out to be world changers, because they were already hungry, eager, driven people who wanted to be the change in their very own country. They wanted to be the solution to their own problems. And so I love this next African proverb because it sums it up for me. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. For our first 13 water wells, I was boots on the ground for the first year. But recently when I went back, we celebrated our 20th water well. And next week, when I'm feeling better, we'll be celebrating 35 water wells and counting. That's all through the locals doing it themselves. And if you remember back to Mama Mariamo, the one that had her vision stolen from her, that was a slave that had lost 5 of her 7 children, I'm happy to report that this was her first time pumping clean water. I just love this picture. I got to teach her how to do that. And in her community, she's the closest living person to the water well because we made it only 20 footsteps out her front door. And so a lot of us have heard this quote before. What would you attempt to do if you knew you could not fail? But I want to switch that around a little bit. I want to personalize it for each one of us here today. In the lives of others, what great difference would you make if you knew you could? Thank you.